All of this without consent. And what do the other flies do? Nothing. They just sit there buzzing. Some even encourage. They say things like, let him land on you. Give him a try. He's such a nice fly. He wouldn't hurt a guy. Now, flies will be flies and bears will be bears, but with boys be boys, I'm drawing the line, nip that in the bud, teach them while they're young, because these young guys grow up into men. And I get, you think she looks cute in this dress. It's not an excuse to be causing distress. So my final address, which I'll say with my chest, let's stop our friends and other men being animals and pests.
Wow.
Oof. You could have a podcast.
So now I'll go to you first.
Yeah.
Feels like you
That's
got
the lady in the
goosebumps.
room.
Yeah, goosebumps.
I was
Speak to
like,
the principal.
Yeah, goosebumps. Just
Give him a podcast. Respect for what you said and the way in which you said it, wordplay, 10 out of 10.
Thank you very much.
But also methodical, just the way that you are conveying the message. I think it's funny, it's humorous, but it's also so deep. So it's like the contrast of that will make people pay attention. There was this book that I read, Caroline Create Diaz. It's called The Invisible Women, and it touches on the subject. Have you heard of the book?
No.
It's an incredible book. My dad actually gave it to me. So having a man teach you about how men can be towards women is very powerful. Obviously, it would be powerful having me say, what you said, but coming from you, it means so much more. So yeah, I'm very impressed, and I also respect the fact that you've come here to do this in front of two guys as well. I'm the only girl here, so thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
amazing, amazing. Richard, what do you think?
I thought it was really good. The wordplay was amazing, and there was little things that you did when you said religious and then mass, and I was like, hey, okay, he knows his stuff.
Sunday,
Yes.
do
I
it
never
religiously.
Yeah, and I caught it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, like you could tell you could rap as well. Like I could
Bars.
see, like the way you, right. It was brilliant,
Yeah.
right. And some of the wordplay would go over people's heads, but when you did that, then I found I was more like I'm waiting to see the little things that you throw in there, right. The subject matter, I'm big on that. I'm not going to get too deep right now with such little time. But as a man, as a father of a son, my son is 25 now, but he knows he's never hit a woman in his life. His dad's never hit a woman in his life. Like he knows we were raised with class. So my son, same thing, you were raised with class, because what you're describing is men that are classless, right? Do you know what I mean? And they were raised as animals because sometimes the parents were so busy being busy that they didn't see what was growing right in front of them. In my stand-up, I do this thing where I say that boys have to learn to understand the word no from because no is such a powerful word,
Yeah.
and it's a heavy rejection,
Yeah.
right, as boys get older. But growing up in my period in the 70s and the 80s, no was by default, it was what we heard more of. When we heard a yes, we didn't know what to do with ourselves. So, but it allowed us to then, by the time we were teenagers, right, to hear a woman say no, it was like we already had a backup line. Like if a woman had a boyfriend, it's like, no, I've got a boyfriend, it'd be like, cool, tell your boyfriend he's a lucky guy.
Yeah,
Take
that's
care.
it.
Do you remember that was, and you would say it in a way where she'd look at you, go, oh, you got,
Yeah, you just leave it in it.
yeah,
like,
it's
do
a
you know
lucky
what I mean?
guy, and you walk off. And then the last thing I would say, if you watch Hitch with Will Smith, when he's talking to the woman, and she's like, you're probably going to do this, and he stopped. He goes, you're probably going to do this, but you're not going to like that. So blah blah blah. And he goes, so anyway, you have a good day. And he walked off. And she went, oh my god. And the girl's starting to talk to her. She's like, but it's because he flipped it on its head. I'm not. You're showing me that you may not be interested, so I'm going to tell you, like, okay, but you catch me down the line. But right now, you take care and have a great night. Not even going to look back. Right? Do you know what I mean? So I think things like that. I think it's relevant right now in this manosphere era where men are getting it wrong about what it is to be a man. Right? It's not. And the last thing I will say on this, because men believe in today's society that if they make the money, that the woman should be seen and not heard.
100%.
Right? When the truth of the matter is that, because they say like the days of old, and it's like, but none of you were there. I was there. So do you know that men made the money, came home and gave it to the woman?
And I just don't even think it's true. Like, if we, as black communities, we know that women are like head and of the household. They run things at home, and like, there's not this thing where you go home and your wife's just subservient to it. It's not. It's a myth.
But that's my point. If you think about what I just said, the man will come home.
Yeah.
He would say to his wife, "Here's the money." She would break him off. Let's say it's £600. She would break him off 50. That's you. This is for the house. He wouldn't go, I've earned. She'd go, no. So the woman, in actual fact, was the person that took care of everything.
Yeah.
All right. bills, everything's taken care of, food, blah, blah, blah. This, go and enjoy yourself, right? You say that to so to say that women should be subservient to a man because he makes the money, it's like, no, the man was actually subservient to the woman because he worked, brought home the money, and she made sure that there was no problems. You work and everything else is taken care of. It wasn't that she made the food and blah, 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 everything, but the money came to me, right? Do you know what I mean? Whereas now a man goes, I make the money, so you just shut up. And it's like, no, you've got this thing wrong, right? Do you know what I mean? But conveniently so. Do you know what I mean? So I just thought that was really brilliant. So I really loved what you had to say.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, I liked it. It's perfect timing because I don't know if you watched the Louis Theroux Netflix documentary on Manosphere, and there is a generation now, that because of a lot of people going through, the past social media, films, television, the culture has made it so that there are a lot of people that don't know how to behave, and it's not their fault per se. I mean, it's parents having parents who were taught the same thing by what you watch, by music videos, by TV shows, and you want to act like the character on TV shows. If you watch a TV show back in the 80s and the 90s where someone was getting all the girls and chatting up people, you want to emulate. That's where you learn. So to see somebody do something different, it will inspire people.